Good morning and welcome in, everybody. Before we get into this morning's update, I want to go over a quick overview of what we're seeing transpire so far in the crypto markets. We're back testing these earlier breakouts, but as you know, I've been very hesitant here as saying that we're just going to break out and go to the moon because I have a bad feeling that this could be a fake out, and there's certain things I do, certain things I don't do. Pretty quickly data fell and it broke back below the 148, and then once it came below 145 I was done. So I got out of data, and I also got out of XCN because they weren't holding up the areas. The bull flag fell through on XCN, but what I am holding on to, and it's a very well defined plan that I have, but it's DGB. I'm not looking to go back and forth here. So what I'm looking to do is, if we have big fall offs, I'm just going to add large amounts of DGB and see how far we can get. We're at the bottom of the formation. If we can hold this uptrending support, then the rollback up would be somewhere around 1.2 cents. It's nothing spectacular, but that's the top of the formation. We've come down here for a third time now. So we'll see if this holds. If we fall through here, you're looking at about a 12 to 14% drop to 0.007. So that's what we're looking at in the short term. And we'll see if cryptocurrency ends up falling through these recent run-ups. I've been fearful of this, that something's not right here and that some kind of news is going to come out. But we'll see, because XRP is still up here above 222. This was a fair value gap around 221, 222. But I honestly don't think that's going to hold. I think we're seeking probably this uptrend again. And that's going to bring you all the way down to about $2.13 if we come to, let's just say we lose $2.22. Likelihood says $2.13, as we've talked about the bouncing off of each of these layers and where we feel important. So as far as the rest of my stuff, I got a lot of cash on hand right now. And I'm not going deep in anything except what I am trying to build up higher positioning. So, like, I have my XRP, I have XRP Healthcare, there's XLM, there's DGB. But as far as, like, going deep and holding on to data and holding on to XCN and some of these other ones, like AMP, I sold AMP too. They all came through levels that I was uncomfortable with. And once AMP came back through 004, it's like, there's no point. Because it got rejected on this little level. And like I told the audience, if you bought this for the breakover, don't ride it back down. Like, you can hold it, but make sure that it's viable to this uptrend. I still see an inverse head and shoulders, so I'm not saying I won't re-enter, but that's the beauty of Bitunix. I can get in on a whim, and then if something doesn't seem right, very quickly I can get out, and it's no harm, no foul, and then I just wait for the next layer. Right now, if we look at gold, it's up $21 an ounce to $3,378. Silver's flat at $36.21. Mining stocks are slightly up. You got Barrick Gold up about 0.89% pre-market to $20.42, up about 18 cents. Gold silver ratio up 0.75% to 93.24. B2 gold's up 3 cents or 0.84% pre-market to $3.62. Pan America silver's up 0.56% or 16 cents to $28.82 a share. First Majestic is up 0.48% or 4 cents a share to $8.38. And Fortuna Silver Mine is up about 1/3% or 2 cents to $6.90. We've got the total 3 market cap down 1.7% or 14.9 billion. And we've got the total crypto market cap. That's all cryptos, as to where the total 3 market cap is all crypto but Ethereum and Bitcoin. And the total is down 1.61% or 54.8 billion. So we're definitely on a corrective phase. And we'll see if this breaks through or not. But this is a very dangerous spot right now. And it goes back to what we've been talking about. There's a very likely chance that 2 different varying things can happen. You can either have a big volatile breakout, and to me it was holding that 229 and pushing up. Now what we did was we fell through 229 and we knew 222. This area is that last stand support. And then after that, it's $2.15. So be prepared. Pay attention. And just understand what we're seeing in our development here. So, I don't know if I've done the intro yet or not. I can't remember. So, just in case, you might get 2 intros. So, good morning. 7:59 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, June 12th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So just busy this week. Got a lot of graduations this week with the kids. Today we've got Scarlett graduating from our elementary, moving into middle school, so we have to go there right after we drop T off. And then later today at 10:30, 11 o'clock, we got to go back to T school because he's graduating from preschool into elementary. And we already had Michaela's graduation because she graduated from high school going to college to Western in the honors program. So it's been a busy week. I didn't do a live yesterday, just there's too much stuff going on. I'm going to try to do one tonight, but bear with me because 3 kids all graduating different levels makes it a little difficult for this last day of school. Well, one of them's already done, but the last 2 finished today, and then we're in the summer vacation and moving on to the next chapter. So what I want to tell you while I have time with you, because I'm running out of time here, XRP, if we continue down, if we lose $2.22, the most logical thing is first 215, and it's to retest my interpretation of my distribution box. Some people are like, Tom, the distribution box should be over the top. Well, I believe that that area needs demand, even though in the technical terms you could say it's distribution over the top. But I think we're in the demand zone over the top, and we failed the demand. And every time we've got up there, there hasn't been demand, and we've fallen through. A couple times in distribution we've managed, but a couple times we've distributed into sell instead of buys. So technically that can't be a demand zone if there's no buyers and there's sellers. So if you go through it in the past, this ended up being distribution into sellers, not buyers. This ended up being distribution into buyers, not sellers, and then it sold out after. Same here. This ended up being distribution into buyers, and now we'll see what happens. And there's never been demand in the top zone. That's why we haven't broken the discovery. So that's how I perceive it. The bottom supply, because that's what helps build us up if we have the proper supply. But I don't know if we're actually in a wave 3 yet, or if this is still a corrective. We don't have any real validation. The only thing that I can see is that maybe this comes back down if we hold this. And it's either going to hold at, that $2 level or somewhere around that $1.83. I dare say that this should be at $1.98 because that's how it's supposed to be. Because then the bottom of this comes down near that 135, 136. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect in distribution because that's technically how low we could come. And don't be afraid, but this is how low we could come if everything broke down and it all kind of like fell through. That is absolutely where we could break down. I got my window open in the back. I know it's a little sunny, but I wanted to see out back, but obviously it didn't work out so well because it's a little hazy. Well, hazy out. So, a lot to pay attention to today. I don't want everybody to jump off a cliff, but there's a reason why I said be fearful, but also optimistic at the same time, because something doesn't feel right to me. Spent the whole weekend saying this, spent the early part of the week, talked about levels all week the last couple of days where if we want to break out what we need to do, and right now we just haven't done it. Bitcoin went all the way up, got that so far brutal rejection, and the problem here is we fell back in. I don't want everybody to misunderstand what's going on here. It was probably early because it's probably not 70% of the move, which it's not. Let me get rid of some of this so it's easier to see. But look at the breakout. There was a breakout, and now when we're trying to backtest, we didn't backtest. We came right through the backtest so far. I do have a line in the sand here where technically a backtest could come to 106K because the 200 is going to run through there in the higher time frame in the 4-hourly. So technically you could come down there and be all no harm, no foul. But you start coming down too far, it's big harm, big foul. Because if this invalidates, now you got a pure double top up there. Like you've got the real M topping reversal, the Gruta de Gras now. And this is my fear. That this, and we've seen this before, was not the main M topping reversal. That's just the left side of it. So you come up, M, back down to the other M. And then when it falls down, now you got this big setup for a breakdown. And that is what I'm trying to make sure doesn't happen, and why I'm being very skeptical here, and why even if I come in for a swing, it's a very minute swing. Like you're talking about, one of them was a 1% swing, and if it fell below that, I was out. That's how close these margins are, because if this comes, you don't want to be part of some of this. Unless you're sitting on something that you're like, you know what? I've watched this when it was 95% higher, and I'm going to buy it at every level until we get back into the... Okay, if you want to do that, that's one thing, but still, understand, that might put you in a very weird spot, because let's say you bought something like, oh, I don't know, DGB at 0.0089 or something, or 0.009, and it goes down to 0.007. Well, now you're going to have to buy enough to where your average is going to figure out to 0.008. And then if it goes back down again, you're going to want to buy enough to where you keep moving with it. Like, if you're going to approach this market, you're going to have to do it like the whale. You find a spot you like, and then you start piling into it in your areas of, expertise or your areas of comfort. So this isn't going to be simple. In fact, this could get brutal. We'll see how it goes. We're not broken yet. We're not broken yet because we haven't broke down the main support structure. 222's major FVG, the fair value gap. And the key fact today, and then I'll release this. MicroStrategy, the top corporate Bitcoin holder, has amassed 582,000 Bitcoin worth about $63 billion since buying 21,454 Bitcoin for $250 million in August 2020. So that's something. But before I leave, I wanted to talk about this because Bitunix, if you sign up, they have a lot of stuff you can do. You can do up to 125x leverage. You've got no KYC or VPN worldwide. In the USA, it's the lowest spot in leverage trading fees. Hands down, it's not even close. It almost feels like a cheat code to be able to do things on here. But they've got different little things for prize pools right now. If you deposit, you get a chance to win a MacBook, apparently, which I don't even give a rat's ass about that. No one's probably winning that. But you get a 20% futures bonus. And you can trade up to 125x leverage, and this is the way it works. Up from June 1st to June 30th. Just click on my link in the video description below of this very video, or on my homepage, or the pinned comments. So you have that, and then you have this as well. Trade to win and get a MacBook. That's all this stuff. $1,000, you get $200 in USDT futures bonus just for depositing. $2,000 deposit, you get $400 in futures bonus. And then, depending on how much you have in futures trading, which is leverage trading, there's a top 10 list, and there's a payout. So, now if you're an extreme bonus, or if you're an extreme trader, and you do 2, 3, or 500 million in futures trading, which is probably unlikely, but that'd be like trading $10 million at a 10x and doing it 2, 3, or 4, 5 times. There's a significant bonus to be had if that happens. So those are a couple things that are going on. I want to make sure to talk about them. If you go to my homepage or the video description below and or pinned comments of this very video, you can find that link. And on my homepage, just click there. It shows Bitunix. And then you got all the other ways you can send a donation. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. There's a couple things on Blowfin, LBank if you're buying DGB and you don't want to pay all the fees. Telegram. I encourage you to join there. HOTCOIN, you can trade there on spot. Futures as well, but it's a little more fee exorbitant than Bitunix, so what's the point? Have a blessed morning, everybody. Be safe. Hopefully this update found you well, and don't bash your head through the wall, because we're going to figure this out every step of the way.